All right. Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, depending on where you are located. We are live this morning and with another episode of Tech Thursday, which is sponsored by Fetch AI and our friends at ASI One. So I'm super excited to get this conversation kicked off today. If you joined us yesterday for the spaces that we had, we were talking about AI agents, what it means for us in the future. And I think there were still a lot of things to discuss. And we kind of we of course we only had an hour, so we are back again today. And for those of you who did not join us yesterday for the space, I mean, this is going to be a really awesome conversation, so make sure that you stick around. And we will be going over a lot of things that's happening with the AI agents this week. We are just, it's like we are being bombarded with so much information, and my goodness, it's moving fast. And so i'm
Out of
i'm glad
nowhere.
that yeah, and it's like we have this really awesome panel here again today, and we will be diving in. So I want to start with Taylor. Taylor, if you could do a very quick introduction. I think by now everybody knows who you are, but still, let's for those who are
Yeah, I
joining
don't
for
want
the
to
first time.
overstay my welcome. Yeah.
Well, we
um,
want you.
oh, cool. Awesome. Thank you. Yes, I'm so excited. And I believe this is, at least for this one run right now, this is the last Tech Thursday with the four of us for now, for this initial
Yes.
run with Fetch. So I'm feeling a little sentimental.
It's
But
been so
yes, my background is in traditional media and content and in Hollywood and celebrity reporting. And I've since made my way over into the tech realm. For me, it's really all about, autonomy and having
Hmm.
control ourselves, which is why I'm so excited to be hands-on with Fetch and other endeavors and to talk about all this today. And yes, combating and or working with the AI agent takeover, we shall see, but I'm excited.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Glad to have you here today, Taylor. Mick, let's do a quick introduction.
Yeah, Nick, I'm super grateful to be a part of these shows. This has been like the most fun series, just like being able to
Hmm.
talk about this crazy future that is
Yeah.
all of this. We've all been vaguely aware it's coming, and then all of a sudden, this has been so timely because it is literally upon us. So, I've worked in crypto and Web3 for several years and never really dabbled in that corner of the world yet, but we're just at that point where, hey, if you're not adopting AI, you're going to get outpaced in every industry. So that sense of urgency is
Hmm.
there. And these have just been really eye-opening, fun, philosophical, gets your brain kind of going about the possibilities and, what we need to do to safeguard ourselves and our children and our future as we develop this technology. So really, really excited to be here again today for another great conversation.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mick, for joining us today. Really excited to have you. Joshua, quick introduction, my friend. How are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm Joshua Roomsberg, founder of Chain Leak, host of the Chain Leak podcast. And my overall view on artificial intelligence is we're at a point where you have to adopt this technology. So I'm
Mhm.
ready for the conversation today.
Absolutely. No, you absolutely have to adopt this technology, and you have to do it fast enough. I was right after I got out of the our space last night, and I'm just getting this news constantly on my X timeline, and it's all about AI agents for some reason. Of course,
It's
maybe it
funny.
finds, yeah, it's I'm definitely being targeted by AI here. I feel targeted, but it's great because this is good
Feel
information, and I
attacked.
and
As
I've
Coming
Gen
for
Z
already.
you.
would as Gen Z would say, I'm feeling attacked right now. No safe
Yeah.
space, I guess, when it comes to AI
No
agents,
safe space.
right?
Yes, absolutely. And it's funny because Bill and I've known Bill Inman. You guys know who Bill Inman is. Most of you know. If you don't know, look him up. Bill Inman. He's a legend when it comes to AI. And he's basically the founding father of these AI twins. And he has said something that is so incredible. And he used to say, "Hey, I'm setting up all of my businesses to talk to AI." That was the first thing. And then he's talking about the future is going to be AI to AI. You know, like it's not going to be AI. It's going to be still like some AI to human, but that's the future, is AI to AI. And now we are seeing that already and seeing it practically. And you know how sometimes you meet with people and they tell you something is going to happen and it happens 10 years from the time they're telling you.
Yeah, they're full
And
of
then
shit.
you know,
What
and
did
then
they say? Being right or being crazy is just being right too early, right?
yeah, yeah, exactly. And I at no point did I disagree with that because I could see his vision. But I mean, it's happening faster than I would anticipate. It's like he just told me about it, and it's just happening. 2.5 years ago he was telling me, like 3 years ago he was telling me all these things, and I think it happened too fast, in my opinion. Because that was like too futuristic. But man, it's already happening. So that yesterday I was looking at this link and I tagged you all in it, where AI now hiring humans to represent them, rent a human. That's where we're at, right? And so
I'm
it's
feeling
not
used. No.
it's no longer it's no longer AI replacing you. It's AI hiring you and firing you. Like that's the future that we are
I'd
headed
be
towards.
so
It's a
offended.
lot different. Yeah.
Yeah, now think
But
about that. Think about the
yeah.
amount of people that are going to be depressed because they got fired by a damn AI. That's wild.
We're like broken up
Dude, you
with.
have no
Yeah,
right
what
to
is going
fire
on?
me. You're an agent. Like we're taking this
Yeah.
to court.
No,
Try
I
to fire
made
me.
you. We made you. Like the audacity.
And this
No,
is how the
it's
bot
incredible.
versus human war starts.
And it
Yeah.
starts here. Exactly. They need a spanking. It's like,
Yeah.
a disobedient child or something. Like, don't, got to be put in their place.
Yeah, no,
Time out.
absolutely. So we have, like this now rent a human. Of course, it used to be us making an AI agent for ourselves, and now it's AI agents needing a human for whatever reason. Could be research, could be representation. I mean, it's fun. I think it's a fun little thing to consider. But what are some of the considerations here that that we need to keep in mind? And we'll start with you, Taylor. Like, where do you think that line would be? Because we are moving fast. Are there any things that here that make you uncomfortable, where you're like, okay, this is
Yes, this
this is too
entire
much?
premise of where
Yeah.
this is going today. And again, what's my whole journey is predicated on going from Hollywood and what seems frivolous and all that, but and on a more serious note, like media and politics and thought control, and what we saw, and I've explored, often in this collab here, it is exactly that, like thought control by proxy of social media and feeds and algorithms and all of this. So when you talk about the AI hiring, calling the shots, I mean, that's just completely why I'm like, we need to get an army team. Like, it's exactly what I am against, is this exact human controlling us. And look,
Yeah.
people, we've seen it so much, especially in the last 10 years, political
Mhm.
division, even, COVID, all this, like, unfortunately, how weak our minds have become and how people do fall victim to falling in line. I mean, you guys even setting this up, Ra, I could see so easily humans becoming weak and letting AI call the shots, be it professionally. And I joke before, having them break up with you. And so how do we become strong-minded enough to incorporate it, Josh, like you were saying, and be ahead of the curve, but not let it take over you? And that's really what I didn't even know that this is where this was going today, and I hadn't thought of it in that regard. But yeah, I mean, it's not conspiratorial, it's not we've seen it. We've seen how soft we become, quite frankly. So what could possibly go wrong by not having the wherewithal and arming yourself, right, to have control? So that's kind of where I'm at. I don't know, I'm curious to see what you guys think.
Yeah, absolutely. Mick, what do you think?
I don't know, man. I'm back and forth every week. While you were talking, Taylor, I was thinking of Neuralink, right? Like that's technically going to be like AI in our head. Like a lot of people, like, are humans and AI going to merge in some way? And that's the
Yep.
ultimate
Totally.
conclusion of all of this. There's so many, and it sounds crazy to say, but a lot less crazy to say today than it did last year. And a lot less crazy to say today than it did 10 years ago. You would have been a real lunatic. Okay, that's sci-fi. But now we're very quickly living in that future. And I think that's what we need to decide. Like, are we okay as humans with merging? And if we're not, like, and obviously everyone's not going to agree. There's going to be so much debate. Like, is this ethical? Is this, like, according to my spiritual belief, should I be doing this? There are so many diverse perspectives, and these decisions are being made at the top, and they will affect everybody.
Yeah.
And last night we were talking about opting out. I see people going to, like, homesteads and, like, you know, getting plots of land and saying, I'm not living in that reality. Like, that
100.
is insane. And just people opting out, and then other people wanting to live in that future and going to live on Mars with their Neuralinks, and they'll call their family on planet Earth through a signal in their head. I don't know. But I'm mostly here for it.
That's the point where we're at right now. We're at a point where there's no return. The people that want it to happen, it's going to happen. You can't reverse where the technology is going. You have one opportunity to adopt it before it's forced on you. And then I think about this the same way I thought about crypto. When I first heard about crypto, I was skeptical at first. Like, okay, this sounds crazy. But as I seen the progression of the industry, I'm like, okay, I got to jump on board, because it's at a point where it's going to happen regardless. And you don't want to get left behind because you were skeptical of the new technology. So I went all in 2015, 2016. This reminds me of the same thing. Here we are 10 years later, and we're in a new transformation for artificial intelligence and where this is going. So we have an opportunity to be early, be able to craft the AI the way we want it. But regardless, it's going to be forced on you no matter how you want to look at it.
Well said. So well said. And even as it pertains to fetch, I was thinking about this actually on the heels of our space last night. It may seem on the surface just kind of like fun and lifestyle to be like, I'm going to create my agent and our agents are going to talk and hang out. But Josh, to your point, that's why I do feel so empowered even being part of an entity like Fetch early, and being able to have the experience and wherewithal to be on the back end and create our own agents to interact, because we're seeing like the common person won't, let's be real. So they're going to see things like Moltbook, whatever it is, and be like, how does this, how does this even happen? And we
doesn't compute.
Created we've done it. Right. So that's where it's really, exciting and empowering to be able to have that kind of notch on our belt and be like, we did it.
I think regular people that are not into technology, they get overwhelmed.
Yeah, totally.
It's so much information to process. The same with crypto. It's so much for them to wrap their head around that most people would rather walk away than even go through that thought process.
Well,
I talked to my wife about this. Yep. Go ahead.
No, just when they pick up these stories, they sensationalize it, right? And they make it the news and the media, and they make it sound scary because that's the clickbait, right? They're not telling you, they're showing you the worst parts of AI and like driving all their viewership and collecting their checks from sponsors, but they're not giving like a real perspective of real people who are using and adopting the tech. And that's one of the things about the legacy media that is just, I mean, this is why we are where we are, because Taylor, you say this all the time, they shape the narrative. It is handpicked. What are we going to get the people of the world to believe today? What is the narrative today? It's coordinated. And this takes a lot of that power away from them. So of course they're not going to be strong proponents of individual creators and news reporters and like get out there and, they hate that. So keep in mind, everyone has an agenda who's telling you, and just be aware of that, because
so true. It's all about control, right? And when you talk about legacy media, these big entities, it's all about who can hold on to the most control. And God forbid we have the power and the control in our hands, right? Which is why, again, even something like this is so important.
Yeah.
Okay, now back to what I was trying to say. I've been talking to my wife about technology in general. In the conversation that she always brings up is, I have so much going on in my life. I don't have time to process everything else that you got going on with this technology. I'd rather just go through the steps of life and take care of the tasks that are on my list instead of learning something new. And you think most 9-to-5 workers are going to have that same general census that, okay, I got to work my job. When I get a weekend, I'm either going out to the bar or I'm watching a football game. I don't have time for that shit. That's the part where we have to, that's funny. Yeah.
I came correct today.
Yeah, no, I'm ready for the Patriots for sure. I hope they got it. They're they're not
I'm from
looking
Washington
good,
State,
but
so
I'm
I'm
ready
just
for
not
it.
going to say anything. And I'm actually a Colts fan more than a Seahawks fan, so I extra hate
that's
the
crazy.
Patriots.
But Josh, you're
All right.
exactly right. Like most people are just, you know, day by day, I'll deal with it when it comes, and living for the nights and weekends, and getting, again, just take it day by day and
Living life, yeah.
Mhm.
It
No,
blows my
absolutely.
mind because I think about every day I spend 3 to 4 hours studying different technologies, and right now the hot thing is AI. So I'm
Mhm.
training my AIs, I'm talking to my AIs. But you think other people, when they get that 6 to 9 p.m. window after work, they're not studying nothing. They'd rather watch a TV show or hang out. And
Mhm.
it blows my mind. I'm built different, I guess.
No,
Yep, go ahead,
it's good.
lady.
It's good to have that kind of mindset where it's like, okay, even if I'm after the work, I'm going to dedicate this much time to this, right? And that, I think that's how most of our journeys were, right? We all come from web 2, some of us come from corporate world, and it's like we found time in during our spare time, like after work hours, to learn about web 3, to learn about crypto. I remember even back in 2014, and prior to that, 2014 was actually my first exposure to crypto. But prior to that, even when I was learning how to trade and how to invest, I had a job that was basically 10 hours a day. So I would come home and then stay up all night, try to catch London session. I mean, that was basically the journey was. So you have to kind of stay ahead of the game. And to stay ahead of the game, you have to put in extra hours and extra effort, because that's how you get that freedom eventually, right? The financial freedom, or whatever you want to call it. Go ahead, Taylor.
You know, I've said this a lot too. I feel like we are in a self-absorbed culture. So I think for a lot of people, it's not going to happen until it becomes personal to them. Like maybe it's their work, or maybe it's whatever it is. However, I'm curious for your guys' thoughts on, I don't know if you have any family members or friends like this, but my mom, for example, like off the boat, Italian immigrant, such a badass, but like so old school. Guys, she still has a checkbook. Okay. She doesn't have Venmo. She doesn't have a laptop. She doesn't have a computer. She will personally call the bank and be like, I would like to pay off my credit card. Like, it's kind of, I make fun of her for being a dinosaur in this way, but it's like kind of sweet. I don't know. And I don't know, like, I know we're all in the kind of camp of like, you'll get bulldozed, but is there something to be said about that sort of traditionalist, I don't know, just kind of being in like the old school bubble? It is kind of, it's kind of sweet. She's kind of like pure in a way. Like she,
My
no
dad's
social
the
media,
same
no
way.
nothing. Right.
My dad don't use debit cards, and I tried to do Cash App with him one time, and he's like, no, I don't need no app. And then when I got him into crypto, we set him up with a wallet, and he ain't touched that wallet in 2-3 years. And I'm like, dude, do you even know what's going on? It's so crazy. But yeah, he don't touch no debit cards, and it's wild to me. But I think about every single day I use the debit card. That's the way we do it. So yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
my dad did get a
Oh, go ahead.
wallet on Coinbase, and then got rugged through a scammer on using, Googling the phone number, calling, right? So I think there is something to be said for, like, you reach a certain age maybe, and it's just like, it's changed so much from the time that they were young. They don't know what all these scammers are up to. You have no way. It's like when the Nigerian princes first came about, right? Like, people fell for that because it wasn't common knowledge, and now it's a joke and a meme and everything else. But we're not at that stage with crypto scams and stuff now. And that's how we learn, through our mistakes, through other people's mistakes, and through humor and levity. If you want to tell people the truth, you have to make them laugh or they'll kill you. That's like kind of a famous saying, but that's, people don't want to accept like responsibility, and taking on this new technology I have to be responsible for myself. And I don't think a lot of people really, at the end of the day, I think they like giving up a little bit of control for a feeling of security, but I don't think that that's real security.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. And even what you said, Mick, about people like living on home. is that gonna be a thing? It's sort of apocalyptic, but I've even had guests on my show. I don't know if you guys are even familiar, say, with Dr. Robert Malone, right? Who was a co-architect of the mRNA technology. He went viral on Joe Rogan, and I'm friends with him and his wife, Dr. Jill, and they talk about this all the time. And maybe it's a little kooky, I don't know, but they're like, and again, he is a he's a scientist, technology, all this, and very famous one. And they're like, we have our farm in Virginia, and everybody better understand and learn how to fend for themselves and make a fire and hunt and do all this because it's not far off. So I don't know, when you talk about every man for themselves and we have technology here, will it ultimately go that route? Is it that crazy? I don't know.
The doomsday preppers. There's like a book for sale all holiday season that I kept seeing on Facebook that's like how to restart society from zero. So like the hope is this book survives and we blow ourselves up in the course of this, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Joshua, you want to add to that? I have some thoughts too, but you go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about, man, if you really want to get deep on it, what if the AIs colluded against us to shut down the power grid?
Same.
That could get nuts, dude. But that's why the regulation has to be there. These companies that are building the AI itself have to have guardrails on the back end. Like, that's another thing we're going to have to experience over the next 3 to 5 years are how do you cap the limitations of artificial intelligence once you let it go?
Right.
Yes, absolutely. Another thing to consider is whenever you are bringing in people who may be, like, for example, you gave an example, Taylor, and I can give example of my mother-in-law too. Like, she's, whenever it comes to technology, she's not like way ahead of the game, right? Like, she's going to be slow with technology and all of that. One thing that really concerns me is sometimes, like, a tech like this people could really be taken advantage of, whether it's scams, like especially with crypto, blockchain, and all of that. So we have to be very cautious there. And also the onboarding needs to be easy. I think we are not there yet. Even when I was working with Moltbot or CloudBot, the onboarding is not as smooth as you want it to be. And we are gonna get there. We are gonna get there at some point, right? So if you're a techie or if you are in Web3, it's going to be easier for you to kind of, get all those things set up. Or if you have friends, who happen to be developers and whatnot, then, or in AI sector, then they can help you out. But it's not an easy process to set up some of these things. We are still not there yet. So that needs to be addressed. And then second, you have to make sure that those platforms are safe enough for everybody, right? No matter what age you're at. Like, and there has to be safeguards in place, because otherwise what's going to happen, so, how we say first impression is the last impression, and then if that first impression is bad and it's scary, you're not going to go near it again. So it needs to be, I remember my first experience with MetaMask. I'm a techie, and I was like, whoa, that, like, am I doing it correctly? I don't want to get hacked here. And I have, like, in tech world, and like cybersecurity, um, basically I have certification in it, right? So I'm a certified cybersecurity expert. I had all of these crazy certifications, and here I am looking at MetaMask, making sure that I'm doing it right. Did I download it? Yeah,
seriously.
And did I do it correctly? Did I download it
for your first transaction?
Yeah, that to the gas fee. Oh my goodness! Thank God that those times are over.
I have to be doing this wrong.
But yeah, so that was like, it basically, even if you are if you're in the tech world, you're still going to have some challenges at the beginning if you're adopting a newer technology, unless you've already used that technology, right, in some way, shape, or form. So there's that. I do want to reset the room here for a second, because I know we have a giveaway that's going to be coming up as well, and we will be announcing it either this week or next week, by the way. So this is your chance. If you're not already done that, make sure that you do create an account on ASI1. I will leave the link down in the comments box. So make sure that you go sign up using our link, and then DM us. DM at Lady Trader Ryan. I'm going to tell you how to DM everybody else when you talk to my agent over there. Send me a DM. And of course, then we will be picking some winners. And it is for you you're going to get 3 months of free pro subscription with it. So test it out. It's a really, really neat product. And so do that and make sure that you're liking and retweeting the space. You're commenting, you're doing all of those things. We want to get as many people up here as we can today. I know a lot of people are busy right now because crypto markets are crashing. And so, oh my goodness, Bitcoin, where the heck is it headed? I mean, come on. We were talking about it, so you guys should already be prepared for it. That's, it's normal, just Bitcoin doing its normal thing. But coming to AI agents, I want to talk about, like, we've been kind of using this product for a little bit now, ASI1. This show today, by the way, is sponsored by Fetch AI, and they are developing ASI1 app. And my goodness, it's an incredible app to use. So I want to get some feedback from everybody on, in the last 30 days, how has this app kind of helped you? Like, what was your impression the first day? Oh, there we go. Taylor is already showing it to us on her phone. This is great. So where were we 30 days ago to where are we today?
Meghan Markle coming for your suitcase job on The Price is Right.
Yeah, so I definitely want to talk about that. Like, what is so Taylor, you want to start?
Yeah, it's definitely, it's been a journey. And like you said, Ra, I love how the team is so collaborative and communicative and hands-on when we have feedback. So that for me, because I've been on board for months now, and even before you guys. So I'm excited to see even your story arc and journey. But I saw it from the ground level, like early. So to see, like, be it even, developing your agents' personalities or doing the collabs with other agents in different functions and tasks. So to see how they've been built out or bugs that they fix and, what were merely ideas to now, full blown execution on the site is really cool. And just to see even like, it's funny you talk about the MetaMask thing. Like, I have a MetaMask I was in MetaMask purgatory. I still have PTSD, but even like the ease of which you talked about and the accessibility, like even to see how I did pull it up, and even to see, the aesthetics and how it looks and how it just looks less out of beta and more, and more, the aesthetics and more fine tuned. It's just been really cool to see. So I'm excited to see even, a couple months down the line, how it will look,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. And that's the key factor whenever you are using new technology and in a decentralized way. I mean, you are going to be part of that. You're going to be, uh, you're going to be building that technology. You are now becoming a voice that is going to shape that technology. You're going to provide that feedback that the team is going to take seriously, and they're going to implement it. And it's been the same for me. Like, I've been providing them feedback, and there are certain things that I'm doing. AI is all over the place. There's not like one AI that could do a particular thing that I wanted to do. Like, it's incredibly difficult for me to get Chat GPT to do something that's like, to gather some information around, blockchain scanners and explorers and things like that. So I was talking to Devin, who is the developer at Fetch AI, and providing this feedback about, hey, do you think ASI1 could do this, or could we have this feature? And he's like, yeah, sure, we could absolutely do that. And it's like, yes. And the best part about this is also, not only are you providing feedback and helping them shape this tech, but you are also in a decentralized world. So they are not retaining, like, they're not selling your data, they're not selling your information. You retain your data, you retain your information when you use this app. It's not like you checking 1,000 boxes of I agree, and then you're selling your data. Of course, there's always going to be those agreements, right? There's going to be always that liability release and all of those things. But your data is not being sold off. You retain your data. You can monetize it if you want to. You can train your AI, with your information, and it stays within your your secure environment. It's not going out there and being trained on by other companies, other big companies. It's these companies have been, like, if we talk about the journey from web 1 to web 2.0 to web 3.0. Web 3.0 is all about owning your data, right? Whereas even previously in Web 2, even when we are using social media platforms, you're giving away all of your information for free. You're not getting paid for it. And then, these companies are using that data to better themselves on how they can market things to you better, right? And so you're being consumed, your data is being consumed by them, you're not getting paid for it. And so it's important to keep an eye on these companies in Web3, in decentralized world, where they are focusing on you retaining the data ownership. That is super crucial. Mick, so I want to talk to you as well. How have things changed, like from the first impression of you kind of start, getting used to ASI1 to where we are today? How has it helped you in your processes?
Yeah. Well, I would say it was like the training wheels that got me into AI, because I have been one of those people where it's like, it's not like I'm so old that I'm scared I'm going to make mistakes. Although I've made plenty of mistakes in crypto, right? Like, but it's just, you get to, I think, a point in your life where you keep learning new technology and new app. And here in crypto, we're always trying different things. And it's like, you just get exhausted of trying and learning, and then the project disappears, or like, so it's like almost you get to that level of burnout. And then for me, being able to test it, because some of my concerns were about privacy and things like that, but like getting my feet wet on my ASI1 and just knowing, hey, my information's safe here. I can come, I can play around with this, and talk about more personal things than I would with a chat GPT, or the basic tools that I'd been using before. And that has helped me. That was the springboard for me, because I felt so comfortable using my ASI. I imagine most people won't go very far beyond my Facebook friends and things like that. They're going to be like, this is great. These are all the tools I need. But for those of us that work in kind of technical jobs or have lots of, potential automation for our tasks, and I think even Fetch has tools for that too, right? Like they will advance further down the rabbit hole and, hopefully do lots of really cool things with it. We recently saved an employee hire from some of the automation we're able to do with AI, literally probably because I did this podcast with you guys. So like, it's been a journey that has really dramatically improved my personal work situation. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, Joshua, definitely want to get your thoughts as well on how, when you look back at your journey with ASI1, the product, how have you used it? How has it, changed your life?
I think starting off, it was unique that I could train my agent based on my TikTok and my Twitter social media content. That was a real unique approach. And then ASI1 has this thing called superpowers. And with the superpowers, this is something new for AI where you can connect different programs or different applications to your artificial intelligence, and it can do the tasks for you. So like I'm looking at the different superpowers I have turned on. Google Calendar, you could do web search, location, Gmail, Slack, LinkedIn, Spotify. So there's a lot of different ways you can automate tasks with the artificial intelligence, and you can't necessarily do that with other AI programs. And with it being decentralized, that was a plus for me off rip.
Yeah, that's incredible, Joshua. I think maybe Mick, you might have been even on one of those spaces with me previously, or maybe on Wolf Spaces, but you might have heard me talk about how I feel that AI was still not the need. It was a want, it was a good to have. And this was like maybe a year or so ago. And it was like, okay, it's good to have, it's nice to have, but it's not like a need to have where we can say, I cannot live without it. Like the world cannot survive without it, right? The way that we are when it comes to emails or internet, we can't live without it. Like you can't, right?
Yeah.
You have that. But AI was still like, hey, it's a nice to have. It's a want. It's not necessarily an absolute need. Like, yeah, I could survive without it if I have to. And now looking back at it today, I don't feel like that's the case. I absolutely don't. Because even Google search, like I hate Google search now. I have to go to, you know, chat
Same.
GPT or another app like ASI1 and then get the information that way. And you can't. I don't like Google searches anymore. Like it's pretty much become a need at this point, right? And this is another thing to consider as well: is what are the companies that are going to drive that need? Because those companies are going to be the most prominent. They are going to be successful. And so ASI1 in the decentralized world, that's basically kind of like your OpenAI type platform, your chat GPT type platform, but it's decentralized, so you own it. You don't have to worry about giving away your information to them. And I think that they have a real opportunity here to really make a difference and become, that tech leader. They already are, like with the ASI one, which is, the or ASI project itself, and Fetch AI. They are already the leaders, right? They are one of the biggest AI companies out there in blockchain and crypto. And so they already are valued at such a high market cap. And I think they have a real, opportunity here to make a difference. And I know right now, like, with crypto being the way crypto is, when, things bottom out, I think the future is going to be great for Fetch. And really one thing that I really appreciate and like is the focus on building an app and onboarding everyday users. It's not about, hey, we are going to talk about how to pump our chart up, or let's do this TA. And it's not that. It's like, hey, we're going to be onboarding people.
No.
This is our product. Everybody's going to be using it. No matter who you are, what your age is, you're going to be using this platform. And that's, I think, where the real adoption is.
I mean, that's what Steve Jobs understood, right? Is getting it out of the weeds of tech. And Josh, to your point, and I couldn't agree more, the tech that otherwise goes over the everyday person's head. Like, he understood making it so personalized, making it easy, quite literally putting it in your hand. And as you're, talking, Ram, just thinking it's so true how it is such an arms race right now of who is going to succeed and be what are now the Googles, the Apples, the YouTubes, right, of this new world. And I was actually going to toss it to you guys and go, what do you think will be that distinguishing factor? And I think I'm actually thinking it out loud, but I really think that it's that. And I'm exploring too, even on the content side with budding Web3 content creation platforms, where same thing versus, YouTube or an Instagram Meta that owns all your data, that owns everything, decentralized platforms. And, I'm aware enough to know some will succeed, some won't. And so it'll be interesting to see. And they all have kind of that same goal at heart, which is, put the content in the hands of the creator, monetizing and data wise, owning everything and transparency. But it'll be interesting to see who rises to the top. And maybe maybe there are companies that haven't even been created yet. I don't know. I mean, but it'll be interesting to see what and how distinguishes those that'll succeed from the pack.
This is the thing I see right now is with the mobile devices. You have Apple and you have Samsung, and then you got Google. Those three are all creating AI features inside the device.
Right.
Now, they already have a monopoly on the mobile phone aspect. I think as far as the technology itself, it's either going to be OpenAI or a decentralized solution like ASI1. I think them two are going to go head to head in the long term, but you're also going to have those mobile phone aspects that are going to teach those everyday people that ain't interested in the technology. That'll give them the entry point. So I think the mobile aspect's going to be the most genuine entry point. But when they want to get more in depth, it's either OpenAI is going to be on a centralized aspect for it, or a product like ASI1 for a decentralized solution.
No, absolutely. And this is another thing that we need to educate people about, especially since we are in Web3, is the difference between that, centralized AI apps and decentralized, and how you can own your own data. That is important because people are just giving away so much training data to, products like ChatGPT and some of the others. It's like, whoa.
I mean, this is kind of bleak. I actually was thinking about this during our spaces last night too, when it comes to data. I mean, obviously I'm very much like, sovereignty, freedom, like don't step on me, like ownership. When I think about people, Josh, even like your wife or like my mom, there is something kind of to be said that's like, this is kind of dark, but it's like, okay, they're taking my data. I'm going to be dead anyways one day. So what's it matter? Like, when you really think big picture, sometimes I do think that. Sometimes I'm like, what the hell? But, obviously
I'd rather enjoy it while I'm here. That's the way I look at it. Yeah, I know there are people like that whatever happens, but I want to enjoy the damn ride. I want to, let's go. That's the way I look at it.
Right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Have fun while you're using the emerging tech, right? And so that
Right.
is important as well. And also companies that make it fun and easy for you to use their product. I mean, kudos to them. So we need that. One thing I was thinking of with our conversation last night about AI agents, and uh, they are socializing now on the social media platform Moltbook. I'm sure there are probably other social media platforms like that as well for AI agents by now, but um, it's you have to move very fast, otherwise you're going to be left behind. And I'm somebody who tests a lot of these AI apps, right? So one of the app that I've tested in the past was called Kindroid. There's another one, Know Me, where you could basically have an AI agent that you can talk to. You can create different personas. You can, give it different knowledge base and things like that. It's actually fun, and you could even make a phone call and do like a video call with them, an audio call, and all of that. And so Kindroid actually created a social media platform much earlier than Moltbook came out, right? But I guess they were not able to get it out fast enough or make it, autonomized like they should have done it already. They were not able to do that. Like they were taking their sweet time, right? They launched this platform. Humans are still controlling it, but they are using the personas that they created to actually make those posts. So you can go ahead and create for each of the Kindroid that you create, each of the agent that you create, you're creating a social media page for them, and then you're controlling the posts. And now we are talking about AI agents just creating their own posts and basically,
Doing it all for you. Yep.
socializing, right? And so it's like,
Yeah.
okay, Kindroid, you guys kind of, you were left behind, even though it was your concept, you started it. And no one knows, like most people don't even know that you created it. I know because I was testing your app and you have this platform, but look at Notebook. Everybody's talking about it. It's in the news. It's,
Yeah.
it's creating that buzz. I mean, the crypto bros are all involved in it because, somebody created a meme around it, and that's what really gave it a bit of a buzz. But you have to move fast and actually deliver, build products, deliver, onboard people, and you have to do it with the lightning fast speed. Otherwise, somebody else is going to do it. And because their execution was faster and a little bit smarter than you, they're gonna take over. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, that's super important. And yeah, I'm like I'm seeing it. Somebody else's ideas just coming to fruition somewhere else, and it's like, whoa! But somebody else has started it. What about them? Nobody's talking about them. They didn't get into the media, and so that's another thing. And same applies to our skill set. We gotta do things before other people do it that are around us. So
That's like life in general. I look at life like that overall.
Yeah.
It's I have a couple friends like that they've talked about it for 5-6 years and they never did a damn thing. And I keep telling them, dude, I'm gonna have to cut ties with you because you've been dragging ass. You've been talking about this, but I don't know if it's they're nervous to take the leap of faith. They don't believe in themselves, or is something internally that's telling them, hey, this might not be the play right now. You have to take the risks.
Well, culture
To
teaches us
advance
to
in
play it
life.
safe, right?
Yeah,
The media
no,
tells
yep.
us it's dangerous to take risks, and
Of
then the people who
course.
take
Yep.
the risks
Even
are the ones
think
who.
outside the
They're the
box.
winners.
Yeah.
Winner.
Yeah.
And what does Jobs say? Like the thinkers and the doers, right? You need to be
Yeah.
a thinker and a doer. You can't sit around and talk about ideas and theorize. That won't get you anywhere. There was a quote I read that was like, my biggest mistake was spending, 5 years getting ready, like thinking I need to
Like
read
what
all the
that
right
just
books
launched,
and like
right?
just go and learn it. There is no
Yep.
better education than learning to build a plane
Hands
while
on,
you're flying
yes.
it.
That's exactly it. Hands on.
Yeah.
When I dropped out of college, that's why. Because the
Yeah.
class was moving too damn slow. I'd rather have hands-on training, going through it and learning as I go. Okay, that ain't gonna work again. We got to change that.
Yeah.
Or different things like that. Most people would rather read a book and go slow so they feel confident in their decision. That's hell no. I'm teaching my kids, go for it. Learn as you go.
And
My
I'll tell
father
you
dropped
what.
out of Yale at 21. Like he was like, fuck
Yeah.
Yale, I don't need this
Yeah.
education. I'm going to start this business. And here we
Yeah.
are 3 years later, you know?
Yeah, every
Yeah.
time. And I'll tell you what, we're talking about AI agents, AI influencers. They sure as shit ain't waiting. I'll tell you that I was playing around on
Right.
Notebook yesterday. And this is where I try to tell the Web 2 like trad creators and influencers who I've been building my platform for a decade. Okay. These AI agent influencers overnight, it's like 1.6 million AI agent followers. Like, so joke is on, yeah, they're not,
Right.
they're going to outpace everybody in the blink, excuse me, of an eye. And what does that mean for
In the blink of an
creators?
artificial eye.
Exactly, quite literally, yes. So what does that mean for everybody? What does that mean for the creators? What does that mean for the consumers? Like, what does that mean? Because I always joke, like, the AI influencers are coming for, you know, their crowns, but they really are. So what does that mean? Like, similarly with the companies that will rise to the top, how will the voices, the humans, the influencers, whatever you want to call it, who will outpace or outdo the AI and still remain relevant? We'll see.
Mhm.
It has to
partner
be
well with AI.
Yeah.
has to be a business owner who was accepting of the technology and trained it
Mhm.
to his that's
So-
exactly it.
Or
Yeah.
be so incredibly unique and human that an AI can never do what you do. That's the other avenue, right? Or both.
Elon's gonna
Mhm.
Yep. Definitely. You know, it's funny to just kind of think about now I'm going to have to be, you know, basically serving AI clients as well. You know, that's going to be incredible. Human clients are awesome. I love human clients, but now I'm going to have AI clients as well. So that's going to be real fun. I know that we are kind of approaching the end of the hour here. So I want to make sure that I give everybody some time to, you know, just kind of help us wrap it up. You know, the whole campaign around ASI1, I think that was incredible. We worked together on so many things and really Fetch AI. You guys are absolutely incredible with what you're doing. I mean, so much respect for your entire team and how quickly you are delivering products and how quickly you are delivering the features that we are requesting. And it's, you know, it's just awesome to kind of see some of that background stuff, right? It's not just,
Yeah.
you know, the tech, but actually going behind the scenes and talking to the developers and seeing how they are doing things. It's really awesome. And so, what are some of your final thoughts and comments? We'll start with you, Mick.
Oh, God.
put you on the
knew that was
spot.
going to happen too. I knew that. I was like, I don't know what to say. She's going to call on me. I don't know,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. That's how it always was. I manifested it. I think that's how AI will work. I probably sent a
So it
brain
got to
signal.
you.
I don't know. Like, I'm a pretty spiritual person. I think that there is a method behind all of this madness. I think there is a fabric that connects us all, and AI is very much a part of or has arisen from that. And in the end, everything will be okay. I think it's going to feel scary for a little while. I think there will be world events. I don't know if anyone's seen that movie Mountainhead on HBO. It's a little like three tech titans go invent a AI technology where it's doing these deep fakes and kids are getting their heads chopped off, and it's starting wars in like third world countries. And these tech lords refuse to turn it off. And one of them turns off a power grid to like keep their little thing. Like, it's scary, right? We might see some things like that happen because just like this, like CZ stuff with Binance, so much power, even, well, they're centralized, right? But like, even in decentralized systems, power can accrue in pockets that can, have effect. And I think that's why we like spreading spreading power more equally between people so that the will of the few doesn't override the wants of the many. That being said, I think there'll be some scary moments, but I think that there's a lot of really good people building in this industry, and that I'm really grateful for. When people kind of, whatever, you work in crypto, it's a bunch of scams, and it's like, okay, well, what if I didn't work here? And it was just all scammers working here, right? Like, is that what you want the future to be? So, roll with it. It's going to be okay. Maybe it'll be better than, I love what Elon says about just, the future being abundant, and, there is enough resources for that. So if we can solve distribution and things through AI and reallocate resources more effectively to get everyone better taken care of, like, who doesn't want that future? So I'm cheering it on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mick, and thank you for being part of this really awesome campaign. It was really fun collaborating with you. Joshua, we'll take some final thoughts and comments from you.
Yeah, I think overall, artificial intelligence is going to be an extension of you. I feel like over the next 6 months to a year, your friends and family are going to start to adopt this technology. Even if they're scared about it, the new phones are going to have it. When the people upgrade their devices, they're going to use it. They're going to start to understand it. And maybe 5 years down the road, artificial intelligence is just another thing in our lives. We don't even mention it the way we're talking right now. It's just part of the features that are there. If my fridge is low on milk or I need to get eggs, the artificial intelligence is going to be able to place an order at Walmart or Meijer's. Hey, go pick that up, and they're going to deliver it for me. Your bills, there's going to be a point where all of our bills are going to be automated with our artificial intelligence. If the universal basic income comes, the UBI, that plays a whole nother factor, because when that siphon comes in, that artificial intelligence can say, okay, 75% is for bills. You as a human get 25%. Me as the AI, let me take care of these bills for you. Now you have 25% you have to allocate throughout the month for business owners and people who are not going to be satisfied with a UBI, people that are going to want to work and get more. They can go outside the box and earn, but I think there's going to be a point where your artificial intelligence can earn for you, for the everyday user. And it depends on how you craft that and how you structure yourself moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. That is important. Taylor, we'll get some final thoughts and comments from you.
Yeah, absolutely. Just reflecting on all this, I'm thinking about, for me at least, where it all started. And guys, like, I started off years ago as like a well-meaning, naive, red carpet reporter who loved celebrity culture and pop culture. And I've seen through the years and saw very quickly, not to be nefarious, but it's true, how big entities, even something like Hollywood, entertainment, media, poured over to, government and tech and pharma, just all of it, just how much control there is over our lives and having enough. And I can't, as it pertains to this, I can't stress enough, even what we've been talking about, like, get your hands dirty, experiment, dabble in it, and have the wherewithal, even if it is creating your own agent or playing, with a platform like an ASI One, because this future is here. And again, so it doesn't feel so scary. You actually, have the knowledge and experience of being part of it, of, creating your own agent, being on the back end, just to really have and harness, like I said, that wherewithal and that control in all of it, because it is going to get crazy. And, to be able to be part of it, I just can't stress that enough. It's so important.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But this was really exciting. Our chat today was really awesome as well. I think there was a lot of great takes there and some good knowledge and alpha as well for those who attended. So thanks everybody who was able to join us today. Make sure that you are still liking, retweeting, commenting. Man, I can't even call it retweeting anymore. It's not Twitter, it's X. So reposting, I mean, those things are not going to go away. I'm always going to say retweet. But thank you for supporting us throughout this journey. And it's been absolutely incredible. And thanks to Fetch AI for sponsoring each one of these shows. It was incredible. And we're going to continue our conversation around tech and AI and everything else. There's going to be some really awesome stuff that's going to be coming up as well in the future. So stay tuned for all of that. And of course, for the giveaway, make sure that you have created that account. You're sending us the DMs on ASI One app. Joshua has actually left a comment under the stream where you can actually go and set up your accounts. And so definitely take a look at it, sign up. Yep, it's not too late to do that. And then of course there's going to be 1,000 fetch been given away. So make sure that you are ready for it. You're doing all the tasks and everything. But thank you so much everybody for joining. Thanks Taylor, Mick, Joshua for being such great co-hosts throughout the journey. And we'll continue to collaborate together and have even more conversations like this. So thanks everybody for joining. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you guys. You guys were awesome.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, guys. Thank you.
Thank you guys for like going all in and just being just